Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Please press like, subscribe, and share. And share this audio with someone who you may think need it. This audio is on negativity. I don't think that people can see when they are filled with negativity. When you are filled with negativity, you're not going to have any luck. You're going to have money problems because your mind is on lack or limitation all the time. And when you do things to people and you think you're not going to get it back, you're going to get it back because there's a thing called karma. All this wrapped up together, and then let's say you try to turn around and go into a business, it's not going to work. You're going to have problems from day one. So now, first, let me talk about the negativity. I do not understand for the life of me, and this is even when I was young, people think they're not negative. I know I was dating this guy once, and I had told him, wow, he was very negative. He told me, no, he wasn't. He was a very positive person. But yet, he had told me that when people do things to him, he sit in the silence and think about negative things happening to them. Like he was telling me him and his daughter had an argument and he was so mad at her. So he imagined that she was riding down on the highway and got hit by a truck. And then he went on in details like she was laying there, her arms were cut off, was pulled off. I mean, saying all this negative stuff. And I was just sitting there shocked. I said, wait, I told you before that you were negative. You told me that you weren't a negative person. This man looked at me and said, that's not negative. I said, you mean to tell me that you're imagining somebody you had an argument with has been torn up by a truck and their limbs are coming off, and you don't think that's negative? He told me, no, that's not negative. I was just flabbergasted. And then I was telling my cousin this story, and she was telling me, yeah, she knew people like that they didn't think they were negative. They sit up and talk or criticize with people all day and don't think they're negative. This one lady, she's always criticizing people. Like, oh, look at those shoes she got on. Oh, look at that dress. That's an ugly dress. Or just anything. Like, for instance, this lady had went out of town and her son was sick. Lady number two, I'm going to say, went out of town because her son was sick. The negative lady called me and said, oh, how could she leave her son and she's, going out of town and he's sick? I said, hey, her son ain't no little kid. Her son is, 60 years old or more. And plus her family members are going to be there. Her sister and her grandson is going to be there with him. So it's okay if she leave. I mean, that's her business. I'm sure she got everything planned out. Oh, that's a terrible thing. She went on and on talking about how this wasn't right for the lady to leave her son. Hello, that's negativity, number one. And number two is not your business. And then this doctor's office closed abruptly. And I was like, wow, because a lot of people were complaining. And this same negative person said, oh, I don't believe that happened. Something else might happen. I don't believe that happened. Just very critical about things that happen. Very negative, not believing what people saying. Just an all around negative person. And then when you tell them about it, oh, I'm not negative. What do you mean negative? That's not negative. That's not being negative. And then this same person years ago told these, it was a family, it was her friend, and her friend had 3 kids. And she went and told the kids that their mother didn't love them. And when the kids would spend the night over her house, she would be on the phone and listening to what they were saying to their mother. Or she would stand there while the kids was talking to their mother. And when they hung up, she would say they didn't love, she doesn't, your mother don't love you. These were little kids, like between 7 and 10. So when those kids grew up and had their children, she did the same thing to their children, told them that their mother or their grandmother didn't love them. Who does that? Who does that and think that you're not going to get that back? You're going to get that back. That is extremely negative. You are turning children against their parents, mother or father, and you think you're not going to get that back? What I've noticed is negative people think that it's just them and God could see the negativity that they do. And so they keep doing it because they think that the person they're doing the negativity to don't know they're doing it. And so they keep doing it. And then they go through life like nothing's going to happen to them. When I looked over this lady's life, when I found out she had did that, telling the children that their mother didn't love them, when I looked back over her life, I could see that God had returned that negativity to her many times as fold. She ended up one time smoking some marijuana a couple of times and had I guess you would call it a mental episode, a breakdown mentally. Twice that happened. And then she never has money. Money is always, a distance. She just doesn't have it because her mind is on lack all the time. And then on her job, she was having trouble on her job too, had to hurry up and retire because they were about to demote her. All this stuff is not coincidence stuff that be happening. It's happening because you're sending out negativity in the world. Whether you're sending it out like gossiping, or you're sending it out talking about somebody else's family, or sending it out, no matter how you're sending it out, you're sending this negativity out in the world. It's going to come back to you. So then after all this, the lady decided to open up her business. Now, there was some things that happened in her business that just was strange. And one of the guys who do her marketing called and was telling me like, hey, this lady really got a lot of bad luck on her. And I said, why you say that? And he went on to tell me what had happened, which I don't remember what it was now, but it was something that had happened. And I thought, she's still getting back what she's sending out. Years later, she's still getting this negativity back. She's doing affirmations for her business to succeed, and it's just not. I personally think eventually everything is just going to collapse. Because you can't be negative. And then the other thing is the jealousy. That's number 2 I want to talk about. People be so jealous of other people, and you think you're not going to get it back. You're going to get it back. I told my daughter, I used to teach my daughter, when you steal from other people, you're really stealing from yourself, because we all are one. And it's the same thing with jealousy. When you're jealous of someone else, you're going to get it back because you're really sending that negative energy out to you, the jealousy of you, because we are all one. But when you tell people like about their jealousy, they go berserk. Jealous? I'm not jealous. Why would I be jealous of her? What does she have that I'm jealous about? And go on and on and on. This same girl went and told one of her relatives said, hey, because the relatives have, she has a lot of money. So she says, hey, I'm going to show you how to become rich. She says, I don't need you to tell me nothing. Now, why would you want somebody to help you become rich if they're going to tell you like different things to do to become rich? That's because jealous people definitely do not want to take advice from the person that they're jealous of. And she was really jealous of that relative. But when I ask her about it, no, jealous of her. No, there's nothing about her I want to be jealous. Oh, I don't want to be like her. I'm not jealous of her. Go on and on. And then this guy was telling me, you know what? It's actually envious. It's not really jealousy that people be. It be envious. When I started looking that up and everything, that's true. When people are envious of you, they don't like you at all, honey. Don't want you on the planet. They be so envious of you. But because most people know it is jealousy, you'll just say, are you jealous-hearted or whatever? No, they not. I know this other lady, she's full of jealousy. She's even told of envy. She even told me that she's always, but she calls it jealous of like everybody, her sister, her mother, everybody coming to her life. She's very jealous. But one time she met this guy who was very, jealous of her, like with other men and stuff like that. And she was screaming, I hate that. That is such a nasty emotion. Jealousy is so terrible. And when she got through hooping and hollering, I said, but you have that emotion. She got really, really quiet because I guess she didn't think I would say that. And she said, well, yeah, that's why I think it's such a, nasty emotion. Because she had confessed to me that she was even jealous of me. But again, it's not just, it's envy. I think we just, call everything jealous, but it's envy. Though, when you have those emotions, you're setting up yourself for failure. It's going to come back to you when you're envious of somebody else. The only way you can change it if you own up to it and then work on it to change it. You can never change an emotion like that if you don't own up to it. If you're going to sit and hoop and holler that no, you're not jealous of this person, why should I be jealous of this person? You're never going to be able to change it. You know why? Because you can't even see that you're jealous or envious of anybody. And if you can't see a thing, you can't change it. So now I'm going to end this part 1 of negativity. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.